Hello everyone, hi, it's me, the usual. Yeah, no, it's Ace Attorney night. God damn it, it's Wednesday, that means it's Ace Attorney night. Ugh. I hope everyone is doing good, doing well. Alright. Gonna be honest, my eyes are on fucking fire right now. I took a shower earlier, and I just absolutely got shampoo in my eyes. Like, I don't know what I did, but it got in there, and my eyes have been on fire since. It's great. So, you know, I'm having fun. And then I have tea that I almost just scalded myself on. I am accident-prone this evening. Oh my god. Did I wash my eyes out correctly? They are, red, and, the R in red stands for clean. So, yes. I'm supposed to pop them out and get the back, too? Shit. I didn't do that, it was just a quick rinse. Just a quick frontal rinse. You know. Got flu. Confirmation that it's not COVID. That's good, at least, that it's not COVID. Fuck, I'm sorry that it's the flu, though. That's still shitty. That's, that is not good. Chemical sanitizer spray for eyes? I mean, yeah. I didn't have it, so I just, you know, got a little shampoo in there and rinsed it out. It was great. Eyes squeaky clean now. Squeaky clean eyes. Anyway, I want to play Ace Attorney. Rubbing alcohol should kill the germs better than shampoo. Well, yeah, but I wanted the suds. All right, I'll be honest. I like the suds. The suds feel nice. The rubbing alcohol leaves my eyes, you know, a little more dry, which, you know, yeah, it means it killed the germs better, but like, the suds are fun. Bubbly eyes. Really makes things fun. I'm gonna play the game now. Okay. Let's see. Last time, yeah, wait. We had just been like, oh, we should go move. And then we got, you know, realized we have handcuffs still. Let's talk to this fine man. Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside?
Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but is not true, I see.
Sorry?
The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape? Very funny.
We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping.
Yep. You stay in this cabin till the next port, then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay!
Alright. No point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Cool. Did I not look in the wardrobe? Okay. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. This is... Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try?
Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
No, I'm sure it's just that everyone's busy, that's all.
Yeah, with the whole murder going on, might be busy. We look at everything.
I'm just double checking. It's been a minute. The table. We didn't look at the table, I guess.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yeah, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No. Haven't been watching all streams of the shtick that he's always his own lawyer for murders he seemed to committed. So far, yeah, I guess.
Oh, hold on. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
She glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine.
Oh. Hey, wait a second. Is that...
Oh, look over there.
Is that the, from the side, that guy looks like the private investigator? Or not private investigator, the investigator from the last case? The crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try.
Hello, sir.
Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door.
Can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what can I do for you? It is him! It's TB, man! You coughing still? Recognize that face, but it can't be. Yeah, it is. It is!
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hasanaga.
Hello again. But what are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship.
Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Yeah, I'd just like to talk to... Okay, yeah, I can talk to him. Yeah, what are your special orders, buddy? So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? Inspector Tuber Euclosis? Yeah. I'm so sorry. Huh? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jikoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Are there any more Western Ace Attorney games? I wouldn't put it past them. Oh yeah, fair. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jikoku said that we should be prepared for any eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it! Kazuma-sama was... assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Ugh. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him for the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I've failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace! All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Okay. A Supersonic Detective Agency. One moment. I need to... Okay, let me think about this. Let me give this a quick think. Feel bad for this poor guy now. He was doing his best. Yeah, he tried. He did his best. He failed though. Nerd. Hi, I'm Jetman J, and have you ever wanted crime solved fast? Well, I've got the shit for you. It's Jay's Supersonic Detective Agency, where we have all of our detectives dress up as Sonic characters and solve crimes really fast. Because channeling the power of Sonic the Hedgehog, anyone can do anything very fast. So that's why we've put all of our detectives in Sonic costumes. And now they solve crime fast! I don't know, that's the best I could do. I'm sorry. So, fuck, I should have added roller skates. Shit. You're right. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! He'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. You'd moved even to touch the handle on the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? Well, I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example. I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Ah, more tutorial. Simply select the Present panel. And choose some evidence that Inspector Hasanaka could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Present the paper seal. Well, I wanted to present the paper seal, but you drew the characters as paper seal, didn't you, Naruhodo-san? They're such bold, vivid strokes you made. You're looking at a man who came aboard inside a trunk. Those brushstrokes needed to make a statement. If they'd found me in that wardrobe, those Russians would have hurled me into the freezing cold ocean. I'm sure none of the crewmen would have done anything like that. Well, I'm not so sure. They would have forced you to wash dishes in the galley until you were on death's door or something like that. Wash dishes until I was on death's door? Death's door. That's a lot of dishes. Okay, present that. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe's doors this morning, isn't it? That's right, to try and stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but a Fuda paper amulet's like this are part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Well, motherfucker. Is that not good enough? I guess the diary. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band. That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. Ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Yeah, creepy things do keep people from doing shit. Stupid shit, sometimes. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. Captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. Asogi-san safe. This is the least I could do. Sir, your TB is showing. Just a little bit. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move, and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Fucking bye! So he has tuberculosis? Not confirmed, but seems very possible. Considering he's been coughing up blood for, what? At least 2 weeks now, if not longer? Fucker's gonna kill everyone. I can't believe everyone's gonna die. 9th of January, 7:48 a.m. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, it isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent to the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Let's take a look around before we go into the room we're supposed to go into. There's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. Thought you might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. How's it going, buddy? Excuse me, but could I ask you something?
You little stowaway murderer!
That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid.
Oh. You seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Suzaru-san.
I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman Biff Stroganoff.
Motherfucker. God damn it. I need a second. I need just a fucking second. I just need a fucking second. Oh. You know, this is like in, oh, I forget what case it was. I think it was the second game. There was a guy just called it, like, Dead Man. The victim was, like, D-E-I-D. So, like, D and then M-A-N-N. For his last name. So you just Dead Man was the victim. Oh my god. Also, why's he got fucking planes? Alright. It was D-E-I-D, I think. It was like deed man. But like, you know. His tie is a fish. His tie is a fish! Oh my god, you're right! That's great! That's good! I was sitting here wondering, why does he have tan lines across his face? But he's got a tie for a... He's got a fish tie, so that means this man is great. Nothing bad... Nothing bad. This man could do no wrong. He has a fish tie. The U.S. fucking Air Force, on the other hand, I got a lot of problems with. They can do a lot of wrong. Alright. Oh, whoops. Whew. Best thing is to just avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganov, about this first-class captain's area. Or cabin area.
Here we are in finest part of Buria steamship for very important persons.
Sort of very important persons.
Government officials, kings, queens traveling, and secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place.
Gosh, that's amazing.
But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal.
He's turning into a dwarf. Listen, I don't have a good Russian accent. Alright, I'm doing my best. Please. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied?
Ah!
I don't know the pronunciation. Suzato-san, could you understand that? It sounded like da. Okay. This thing's very funny. Okay. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. Genius.
It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation.
Well, it sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it is tantalizing. Who's next door? Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's?
His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman.
Western gentleman?
Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy.
How can you be so sure about that?
Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands.
That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard?
That is not your business.
Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Cosmo's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman's occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? Sorry, Mauve, just... You answered your own question? Oh, fuck. Rustina, thank you for checking a flight. I appreciate it. But I was sitting there like... It's like, Mauve, damn, alright, why are we going there? And then, guys, why'd I do it? I don't know. But you know what? Good typing. You're dying? That's fair. We all are.
What's those
Anubis!
wrist rockets?
Fuck, thank you. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. I very much appreciate it. Alright, last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff?
Duh! All time, so criminals like you cannot come in or get out.
But I don't even know who I am.
Another command post for the Republic.
Nope. I don't. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about
Another
student
command
boy.
post for the Republic.
Were you on what?
Well, wait, were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Suzato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises? Since anything was wrong in some way?
I said no!
Sorry? Not so sure. I've sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now.
Oh.
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
Yes, alright.
Bulkhead to second class areas staying locked at all times. You escape when lobster whistles on top of mountain, or as English say, when pigs fly.
Yes, I understand. Fucking U.S. goddamn Air Force. I'm gonna fight the entire Air Force. Good, now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Definitely.
But oh, you just changed your name. Okay. Hello. Do you have to make a new account or something? Okay, now we can look at things without this guy there. Book on top of the table is really huge. There's a pen with it, too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Have a little look through it. Writing's so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Don't get confused. I'm going to, and you can't stop me. I'm afraid. Two sousaphone players? That's like too many. Oh my god. Permanent gulag vacation.
Hello, I am Jetman J, and I am here to put you in the gulag. Forever. Goodbye.
I think that's it. That's the way to second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. Might be wrong, but I imagine feeling the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
Oh, I started my talk of running away.
There's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. It shows each deck. Look. Yeah, I'm getting accused just as much as Maya was. It's great. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean?
that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san.
It is?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. Fuck.
The islands of Japan?
Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship.
Wonder if Ryunosuke is Maya's ancestor or some shit? Nope. He's Phoenix's ancestor. Archipelago? Archipelago. Okay, thank you. Or wait, archipelago. I think I might... Yeah. Whoops.
Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea ever since the gods created them.
Well, I suppose so. Okay, yes, I can read good. Oh. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. But I don't know. Okay. That's all good. No answer.
We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one here to help with our inquiries.
How annoying. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says, press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
Wish everything would just stop. The ship included.
You have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
Oh. What was that? Came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. Must have been a woman.
Stand aside! Oh, never mind. I'm about to break the... whoa, hold on. I'm about to break the door down.
Mr. Sholmes!
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick?
I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief.
9th of January, SS Buria. First class. Cabin number 2. Oh! Oh, who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Do not be absurd. As you can see, there is nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. In that case, who just screamed? Without all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am mixing up every fucking accent. I don't know what's with me today. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns and covers the popular magazines, no less. I can't read today. Is it because I got all that shampoo in my eye? I don't know. My eyes are still sort of burning from my shower. I don't know. I just fucked up.
So I assure you, you may trust me completely.
Man uses that magazine like a business card.
A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time.
Do I need help? No, I'm just dumb.
So, might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? Well, don't be stupid. How could anyone fit inside a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk.
Don't look at me. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now! Otherwise I'll call the steward.
So this is Cosmo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. No doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. How'd you... Whatever. I can't even look at the sack. Alright. Herlock, what the shit? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Sholmes.
That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there?
Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh!
And it would seem the hour is upon us now. The time has come!
At least there aren't any clowns? True.
Am I mistaken?
Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once.
Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh yes, please!
Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness?
I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes... I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on your first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence.
You can hear the gears turning and fires starting, and little men inside trying to put out the fires. They can't. They all die in a horrible fire in this fucking thought factory. Their children grow up to be delinquents without their parents, and Sholmes then dies. Because his brain has an aneurysm. much like he is giving me one.
What are you doing? Why are you peering into my face like that?
Yeah, they're forced to work the warehouse despite the storm warning. Ha 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 ha. Fuck Amazon. Anyway.
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you've been discovered. Does it not?
Oh no, Hana-san, I never imagined I'd witness one of Mr. Sholm's great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What?
What an ineffable twaddle! Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true! I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right.
Oh, how could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board this train of reasoning. Plainly, let us work through my deductions together.
Can you, like, use less words? You use too many. Too many words. Oh.
So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, that's what catches the eye in the first place.
This shit's getting extra, it's great.
Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity, the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now, as for my second conclusion, You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation. A young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless dupe to the oil betrays you. I fucked that up. Once again, we need to only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page...
I don't think Sholmes is actually figuring this out. I got a feeling.
Renowned prima ballerina of the Novorok Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of the Russian enigma, Elemensky.
Zato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, can you come over here for a moment?
Pray, what can I do for you?
About your deductions, would you mind?
Not at all, go on.
Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other.
Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you. But the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance.
In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina.
Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman.
Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she?
You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15.
No, I didn't know. How could I? Huh. Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case.
Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies.
Vinegar?
Well, such a sour bunch would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case.
Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two keywords and deductions that seem to let him down, so I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords and his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction.
Precisely the thought was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me.
It's not that funny.
Ah, and you, my good fellow.
Sorry.
Take a moment to look at your wrists.
My wrists? Where are your handcuffs?
Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction.
I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel.
And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished.
I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this.
So, let us begin.
Alright, I love this man. But I also just want to dent his skull.
Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Okay, you know what? I sort of like this. I like this.
So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement?
How do you not notice... Yeah, how do you notice manacles suddenly disappearing? Yeah. Manacles? Manacles? Manacles. Yeah. Ugh. I am having trouble just reading today, and like the words making sounds and them coming out of my mouth is just... I am having trouble with that today. I don't know what the deal is.
The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport.
Okay. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. Doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Try to switch a keyword here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. Wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san.
Why am I the one to do something about this?
Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? The hell would he use it? I don't know why he'd use them on the buttons. Oh wait, I can sort of rotate things around. Oh.
Yes.
That's new. Okay, I'm liking this. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport.
Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man.
You're not a man at all. You're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair,
one still very much in her youth. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why do you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the man. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary.
Oh, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry, I was getting a text. Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room, deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business, not strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? Evidence he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. This is because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try and hide her true identity. Feels as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Yeah, this one.
Yes!
Okay. The evidence that reveals your true identity, of course, is the article about the ballerina.
That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. A renowned prima ballerina of Novarkt Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name.
Yes, because your true identity is that of Novarkt Ballet's prima ballerina.
Miss Niklona Pavlova.
Oh. That's almost a head wound. That almost could have been terrible. Oh, horribly, horribly terrible. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Why is her coat thinner? I don't know.
Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime.
Sexism character design? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case.
Woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of her eyes. Well, clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right, it seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around Mr. Sholmes?
Stop it.
Anyway, there must be something here that shows us what this woman's up to. Oh, hey, would you look at that?
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary,
The crime you've committed is theft. Oh no!
yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you.
Annihilated. Destroyed. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone. And I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia? It belongs to me. This girl's only 15 years old and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now.
Come, let us not be hasty.
What?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? What do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention.
Maybe it has her panties, you perv? It also did move on its own, though. So, like, little sus. Little suspicious. What, panties move around? Listen, there are some things that adults can get at a store. Anyway.
Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even...
Wait, no, this thing's going to be a snake? It's a bomb. It just... Very tiny bomb, that's why the case shook. Very tiny bomb. Case just sort of rattled from it.
Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless goopty oil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf.
Completely changed tack to this deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances. Don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf and all this? I know she's wearing your aesthetic. She's 15. I just realized what I said earlier. Oh god, she's 15. Anyway. It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. There has to be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area. That's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that is the only answer. Whatever she's hidden inside that case will be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Maybe it's the door? Metal door, same as Cosmo's cabin. Yes, and the rather slim bolt, the same as well. Miss Pavlova was actually glancing over the door here instead of the bookcase, that would suggest a desire to run away from this cabin. Oh, maybe. That makes sense.
Yes!
Oh no, I fucked it. The metal door of this cabin has a metal latch. The latch rhymes with catch. Are you catching on yet? You see, just as the door is a metal latch, your traveling case is a metal catch.
What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion?
Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so thought I'd contribute to the show.
This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage.
Sorry. I fucked that up. What kind of thought is that? I was like, oh, she wants to run away. I didn't really think it through beyond that. Okay. Inside her case. Not the characters, that's fair. Passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Okay, yeah, it's a pet. There's exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. Wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. You'd probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. I've actually been serving time for weeks now. Have I?
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents.
As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord.
Which leaves us but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case is either a very small bomb that rocks the case, or a pet, I guess.
Alright. Okay, that's neat. I like that. That's good. That is a good addition to things. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylat. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.
You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel.
Which couldn't have been easy. Buria is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Really have snuck on board without being noticed?
In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet woman hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone.
So if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin?
That veritable thinking of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally.
Like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man, I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper Right on the page, there was a picture of me. So frightened, couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time.
Those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You're right, it is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, or if you say any to the crew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return, you must tell us, as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night.
All right, I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't that something, Mr. Sholmes' great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what... But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows.
That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing.
Oh, yes? What?
Observe your wrists.
Your hands are cuffed again!
What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why?
What the fuck, man? We're having a great time. There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. Okay, let's talk. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh! That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded.
Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened. Oops. Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. Run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet. Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I'll start a new life.
You wish to forget? A challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
The tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. But to run away, I had no choice. Instead, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes. And the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes. Of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. What conundrum, I'm not sure, but...
Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Burya stopped in no port last night. That's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
That is not your business.
Yes, you're right. He did... Oh, yeah, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was that? It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. Uh-huh. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description's very vivid. Mr. Scholz once said I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement, or the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. So, the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious...
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt.
How reassuring, Mr. Scholz. Speckled snake? Perhaps. What sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit?
Ha! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you?
Oh, don't they have small rabbits there, then?
You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of a young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious it must be a chicken?
Really?
Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance.
So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that.
Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed.
Obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. What the fuck am I showing her? Oh wait, speckled band. Maybe this. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. It's something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m., I can hear a faint whistling sound. Then a few minutes later, 1:35, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see? It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh! Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh. Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
Excuse me, Mr. Royland.
Oh. Guess what?
Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please.
Alright, I will come now. What?
You must leave, now.
Oh no, it's fine, don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Royland. Okay.
Passenger said out! Or do you want me to throw you out?
It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. So we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. I'm gonna be honest. That might be where I leave it tonight. I don't know what my deal is. I'm just not on top of it, and I'm not feeling it. That might be where I leave this tonight. I don't know what's up. But I don't think I'm up for this at the moment. I was fine, and then I, about 30 minutes ago, my brain just went, you're suddenly not fine. So I apologize for the really short stream. But I think I just need a night for me. Because I didn't really take yesterday off. Only you just got here? Sorry. Tomorrow we're bringing back Sekiro. So we'll be doing that. But I think I need the rest of the night just to rest. So. Oops. I apologize. We'll go raid Zach, though. I know he went live. So. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and watching. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow will be Sekiro with Eric. That's coming back. So, that's good. Yeah, and we'll pick this up next week. I'm just weirdly tired and feeling not super fantastic. So, again, thank you, and I'll see you next time.